Greetings, my name is Louise Dente, and I welcome you to yet another edition of Cultural Caravan. On this edition, we're going to take you to the Schomburg Library in Harlem, New York, in celebration of the works of a great artist, writer, and activist, Ossie Davis. Greetings, my name is Louise Dente, and we're here now joined by Ruben, Santiago, Hudson, who just did a tremendous performance in the People of Clarendon County. Welcome to the Cultural Caravan.
Thank you for having me.
You know, Ruben, I admire your work. You have been tremendous in terms of really just telling our story from, you know, this. Tell me, what do you feel about the significance of this event today?
Well, first of all, you know, Ossie Davis was such a prideful man, a man full of dignity and humanity, and he was very concerned about the place of our people, you know, in the way we were perceived. And he was a fighter and a warrior, and he led by example, and it was just an honor to do anything that he has written or anything that he's participated in or anything he would ask me to be in. And when Miss Ruby shows her face, and everybody in the country better show up, and I knew that I needed to be here to represent him and to try to do him proud.
You know, I know that throughout your career you have really portrayed the African American experience of our people in such a strong way, and from the Lackawanna Blues, which you authored and was your own biographical story, to this one. Tell us about, one of the things about Ossie Davis is he was about telling our history through arts. What is your vision as an artist? How has you taken that to the next level in terms of your work as an artist?
Well, I think as artists, we not only have a responsibility to entertain, but to enlighten. And we, as a people of color, don't have opportunities to squander. So whenever I can help battle those deceptive and deviant perceptions of my people in my art, I'm going to do that. Every character I play, good or bad, I'm going to try to play him whole and have a certain amount of integrity. As a criminal, as a lawyer, as a teacher, as a reverend, whatever I play, I want to bring integrity to it to show us as whole, because our characters normally aren't written whole. And Ossie led by example. I go back to that because he was such a proud, dignified man. And for a younger actor like me coming up behind him, and he would always encourage me and call me a young lion, and he would always tell me, go get him. And so I'm always encouraged by the sound of his voice, and inspired by him telling me that I could do something, and I should, and I had a responsibility to do something. And that something was to represent my people in a very wholesome way that was full of integrity.
You know, in terms of the celebration of Ossie Davis, we're celebrating our people, the artwork, and so forth. If is anything that you can tell those out there who are listening in terms of what we can do to get more positive images of people of African descent on screen, what can we do to support that thrust in terms of supporting positive images, as you've done and as Ossie did in his lifetime?
Well, we have to first of all, exactly what you said, support. We have to put our resources together and find out how to create, develop, and produce our own things. We have opportunities, and we're squandering them. We have to make these opportunities fly, you know, and if we come together with our resources, which are vast, we can do a lot. We tell our stories, we act in our stories, but we need to produce our stories and bring these vital stories to life, and so the whole world can see us as whole human beings.
Well, I want to thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing more of your wonderful work. Thank you. Louise Dente here, joined by Glynn Turman. Glynn, I admire your work for many years. You basically, your performances from Raise It in the Sun through one other piece that I'm in, Five on the Black Hand Side, and of course recently The Wire, and of course your self-portrait, Moving Man. It's great to join you. Please tell us about the significance of this work to you in terms of, you know, just being part of this.
Well, first of all, it's an absolute honor to be a part of this wonderful event. It's always great to honor Miss D, Ruby D, and Mr. Ossie Davis, and to be asked to be a part of this work was by Woody King was just fantastic. It's, you know, there are few voices that ring so clearly and are so current from an inception of a movement. And of course, Ossie Davis was one of those voices. And it's clear that his vision was right on point. When you read and hear what he's got to say about the political situation in this country and where it was headed and what it's got to overcome and what it has overcome. So to be a part of something that was just so right on point was just great.
You know, throughout your career, you have always portrayed positive images of our people in the spirit of Ossie in terms of telling our story. In terms of what's there today, what do you think needs to happen in terms of ensuring that positive, constructive images of our people in the spirit of Ossie Davis can continue in terms of the work that you've done and the work that Ossie did?
Well, you know, I had the great pleasure of working with and knowing Mr. Davis and Miss D from a young age. And I paid attention, you know, if not consciously, subconsciously, what they were speaking about in terms of dignity and choice of roles and what needed to be portrayed was always in the forefront. And so I kind of paid attention to my elders, you know, and we were people who had a great respect for elders, for our elders, as a tradition. And what my comment is to the young people: give a little more attention, pay a little more attention to what your elders have to offer and what they've been through and what knowledge you may be able to gain, which may help you with some choices that you have to make in your life, so that we don't have to do backsteps or backstrokes to cover territory that's already been waged, you know.
Now, in terms of Moving Man, which is your personal portrait of your life growing up here in Harlem, do you have any goals in terms of bringing that work to New York, to the New York stage, and also what's future? What can we look forward to in terms of that?
Well, of course, I love to bring Moving Man to New York, and we're working on that at this very moment, and hopefully this will take place in the not too distant future. Of course, I'm still on the wire as the mayor, and but a piece that I'm very proud of is a movie that I have coming out that stars Tyson Beckford and the wonderful and beautiful Lynn Whitfield, called Kings of the Evening, for which just won the Santiago National Black Theater Film Festival, and it won Best Picture, Best Director, and myself, I won Best Supporting Actor. So this film is called Kings of the Evening, and I hope that your listeners and viewers will look out for it and support it once you see it come to the theaters.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to continuing, and please continue your wonderful work and tribute our people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we're joined by the lovely Lynn Whitfield. Lynn, we really enjoyed your performance. Tell us about the significance of this program for you in terms of, as an artist, in terms of being here tonight.
Well, it was just an honor to speak words that were written by Ossie Davis. More importantly, it's very important that Brown versus the Board of Education, this and the people of Clarendon County, it was the beginning of it, the beginning of the fight. And so, as we said here this evening, after, you know, there's so much still to be done. Things are sometimes still separate and not equal. So, historically, it's significant. To look at the present and realize that there's still more that needs to be done is very, very important. And to be a part of this evening, Ossie Davis's words with Ruby D here at the Schomburg was just a great honor and very, very meaningful to me.
Well, again, on behalf of the Cultural Caravan, we salute your work, Lynn, and it's an honor and pleasure to speak to you, and please continue in wonderful work soon.